I'm Jim Lebenthal getting a charge from power plants built by bonds.
Now, Jim, when you introduced the type of very quirky, funny ads that you did selling muni bonds, it was a very sleepy, dull field. What was the reaction both from your other people on Wall Street, because it's kind of a gray, dull place in a lot of ways, to those ads? It was really a revolution, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah. It was a revolution, and it was not instantly received favorably by the industry. It was regarded as buckeye, as hucksterism, as beneath the dignity of the bonds of our great American cities and states. But as I have learned, not as a writer, but as I've learned as a reader, there are lots of important subjects that you will not read because they are so put-offish. They are so dull. And one of those is the word infrastructure, the most important, possibly the most important item for a public agenda, a domestic agenda in the country today. And infrastructure, and I don't mind mouthing it, and I use the expression like I'm trying to get peanut butter off the roof of my mouth, because it does stick in your craw. But I have found that if you can use comedy, if you can use comics, if you can use humor, if you can use all of the human things that make somebody likable or interesting to get their attention, and if you can tell a story, you've got them. And that's something that I've dedicated, or am dedicating the rest of my days to, is creating public awareness and enthusiasm for roads and tunnels and bridges and sewers.
I'm Jim, built by Bonds Lebenthal. My job's easy. All I have to do is make you love the subway. And the rest of the country love infrastructure too.
That's what this word infrastructure does. It gives you back the money in increased productivity. Let me not use big words that end in ivity. It pays the money back in well-being for everybody.
Right, and you cast yourself as an action hero, kind of on the...
Well, I am an action hero.
Yeah.
It didn't take any casting. I have a fedora.
Yeah. I
have an Armani jacket with a kind of long trailing flap in the back that catches, the breeze as I climb buildings and go into sewers with the sandhogs. Only I don't do those things. I have an artist draw me doing them.
Right, and it's all stills. It's very cleverly
Yes.
done. I really recommend people go on the site to see it. Now, Jim, one thing that you have been a hawk on for many years is you believe that muni bond proceeds should be used to build sewer systems and subways and airports and really pay for themselves, improve
Yes.
the productivity,
Yes.
so to speak, of America. And I think one thing that shocks you, even though you feel the munis are still very, very safe, as an investment, is the use of proceeds to pay operating expenses.
That is correct. And I use the analogy of the use of municipal bonds to cure deficits and pay for something that's up in smoke once the money is spent, like salaries and papers and pencils. I use the analogy of giving a man dying of thirst a nice glass of salt water. He's going to pay for that in spades, and we are going to pay for every bond that we issue that is for operating expenses, that is for plugging holes and deficits. We're going to pay in weakening the ability of our cities and towns to pay for the good stuff.
Buy them all. Build an empire.